Alright, let me turn the music down. Hopefully everything is good here. We keep it a little low. But now you even copy over the stuff. Hey guys, this is AJ the CEO with Church Post Production episode number 10. This is the show that I do every Sunday afternoon when I help walk you through what up. Hold on, there's an echo. Alright, hopefully that should be a little bit better. Let me know if there's any sound issues. I'm sorry about that, it's kind of difficult. Actually, hold on. Let me test to make sure everything is kosher. And then we'll get into what we actually going to be doing. I'll bring it up on my iPad for a second. Let's make sure I can be heard. Yeah. Excuse me. And we're going to go to my channel. Let's make sure I can be heard. Alright, cool. Sound is good. Alright, so I'm sorry for the headphones. That way I can isolate the sound. Let me turn the music off because y'all can't hear it. I can just hear it, so I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy because I'm bumping to music that I got going on over here. I hope all y'all had a great day. Let me turn my light on here. Alright, hopefully y'all had a great day today at church. And like I said, this is AJ the CEO. I like to sit down and show y'all what I do in doing some transformation to video post-production, website maintenance, social media, all the extra stuff that goes into making a media ministry modern. And I need to turn this off because I'm hearing an echo in myself and it feels like I'm talking slower and slower because I keep hearing myself. Alright, so like I said, I did this mainly because when I was trying to help grow our media ministry, it took me a long time to try and find the information that I needed, and I had to piece it together here, here, and here. So I did this mainly as a way, so if anybody else is looking for things to help their media ministry, they can look right here. They don't have to go all over the place because I'm already doing the research for my own media ministry and the ones that I consult with. So I just want to bring you a shrunken down version of exactly what I'm doing to hopefully help your media ministry. So if you've been following me for any period of time, we are on week number 2 now of doing video announcements, and it's been fun. I actually had a lot of people come in this time, had a bunch of the youth and some of the adults come in and do some video recording for Saturday for the announcements today. And I kind of want to share with you what actually happened with that and what I'm doing. I don't know to hopefully help your media ministry feedback from. So if you've been following me, my computer's doing something that I need to be aware of, because last thing you need is a whole bunch of extra sounds here. So I can stop. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pop out my chat so that way I can chat with y'all. And I need to shut down all this extra stuff so that we don't have any type of feedback or any stuff like that. So I think I'm fine with my stream there. Looking cool here. So now I can turn the sound on. I don't want to have an echo. Anyway, what I was saying is it was fun. If I had a bunch of kids and some other folks, and the thing is, they were kind of concerned because this is the first time I've ever done stuff like this. Most of the time they're not on camera, but I appreciate all the effort that they put into it because they did a really good job. And I kind of want to share with you the blooper reel that we did at the end of church, and everybody got a good laugh out of it. So hopefully y'all enjoy that, and then we'll cut over into some of the other stuff that we're doing. And let me bring my control over here so I can actually control my cameras. All right, let's switch over here so I can show you what we did.
On March 22nd, we will have a game, and where are we having the game at?
It's a paint night at the bridge.
A men's forum. That's not right.
This Sunday after church.
Exactly, that's what I was about to do.
Go ahead.
What's the name of the event?
A paint night.
Oh my
Don't
God.
look at the light. Hey, Joe.
Bye, Joe. Joe. All right, so that was kind of what I did. The bloopers that came out of that, and actually played that in the service, and I got a good laugh from everybody. And that's kind of like what the whole thing is. We just want to reach out and show that this is accessible to anybody. And that's kind of like the point I'm doing this with y'all, that you don't have to have some super cash flow and everything like that to do this. We were able to put all this stuff together with the equipment that we have, and it was fun. We were able to reach and touch a whole bunch of people. So, and while I'm doing that, let me actually bring up the actual video of the actual announcement so you can see how that turned out. And let me turn my sound on again, because I think some people were saying they were having some issues. So let me bring up our announcements for the 20th. I want to make sure I stop it before it plays, and I didn't. So here we go.
Good morning, Antioch. Thank you for visiting us today. My name is Jada Dandridge, and I'm with AO, Antioch Youth Ministries.
Good morning. My name is Lizzie Johnson, and I'm with the Antioch Youth Ministry. Here are your announcements for this week.
On January 21st, the music ministry would like to invite you out to the Martin Luther King celebration that's going to be held at St. Peter's Baptist Church on the 21st at 9 a.m. Pastor Sales is going to be the guest speaker, and the combined choir is going to be rendering music there. We hope to see you there.
Living your best life starts now. Join the men's and health ministries of Antioch Baptist Church for our For Your Health event, a men's health forum. Our speaker, Dr. Roosevelt Dean Jr., DO, will discuss hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and prostate care. The date is February 16th, 2019, and the time from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Antioch Baptist Church. For questions, please contact Brother Charles Johnson or Deacon David Edwards.
The NIU will be having a Bridging the Gap paint night on March 1st at 7 o'clock. All are welcome to come. You'll have your supplies, so don't worry about it. There's no charge for the youth. Hope to see you.
Hey, yo!
The 2019 Antioch Men's Conference begins on the evening of Friday, March 8th, and ends the afternoon of Sunday, March 10th, 2019. This year's conference theme is The Sanctified Man, God's Finished Work, 1 Chronicles 28:28. And the conference will feature powerful messages by Jay Allen, Dr. Howard Hopkins, and Reverend Kirkland Walton of St. Peter's Baptist Church. We're kicking things off on Friday night with pizza, praise through music, and testimony and worship. Saturday morning, we will have a fellowship breakfast at Mechanicsville Cracker Barrel, followed by bowling at Hanover Lanes. The Sunday afternoon service will feature a message by Dr. Walton and a rites of passage ceremony for our graduating senior males. Gentlemen, please join us for a great fellowship, food, and fun at the 2019 Men's Conference. Please contact Nelson Colbert, Carl Doss, David Edwards, or Clarence Parker for more information. Hello, ladies. So we have an event going on this Sunday afternoon with the youth. Can you tell everybody a little bit about it?
The event is the Slave Trail. Well, we'll be meeting in the chapel immediately after service, and we'll be leaving at 1 o'clock.
Okay, so what's going to happen in the chapel?
We will have a presentation, 30-minute presentation in the chapel.
Do I need to bring money with me, or how are we going to eat?
Yes, after the slave trail, we will go to McDonald's and you need your money.
Who can go?
Everyone is invited to go with us on the trip tomorrow.
And who is this by again? Who's hosting this event?
Ayo!
Hey, that was sweet. That was sweet.
Alright, so again, that was kind of cool. As you can see, by the time we got through it, the kids were really into it. The adults were into it as well. And when we played at the service, actually had a good response to everybody listening to it. So yeah, it was cool. And that's kind of the whole point with it, is to inform everybody of church, but at the same time do it in a different way that is a little bit more engaging and more up to date with everything that's going on. So with that being said, I am in the process of trying to get the memory card straight for all of the stuff that we did for today's service. So let's go ahead and cut over to that. All right, so for if y'all are first joining me, and you might want to, and let me see if I can tag this in a later video, is we use the Blackmagic the Blackmagic Studio Mini. I always mess the name up. And that's what we use to record our services from our ATEM switcher. You might want to look at the 2019 media ministry tour that I did of my church, of all the stuff that we did. And we have another church that's coming up. I'm going to do a tour about once we finish doing their full system install that we've been working on for quite a while. That's going to be a Good Shepherd. Look out for that video. It should be coming here at the end of the month, something like that, because we're going to start training the media ministry over there to actually use all the new equipment that we got in place, which I'm really excited to share that with y'all. But anyway, I don't know why I was struggling with the name. It's right here. The Blackmagic HyperDeck Studio Mini. That's what we use to record everything from our 5 cameras, our computer system for presenting software and everything like that. So, and actually this is fast enough for me to do edits from. So let me go ahead and bring up Blackmagic Studio. And I don't know why I got all this stuff running in the background. No, I'm not playing on Twitch, so I don't need that. I got a whole bunch of, oh, there's my chat. I want to cap that up. You move that to another screen. And that's all my other reference stuff, so we'll come back to that. Alright, so I use DaVinci Resolve 15. I have a fairly decent computer. I rebuilt it. It's a Ryzen 7 2700X, 32 gigs of memory, a GTX 1070 graphics card with 8 gigabytes of memory. What else? Dual 250 gigabyte SSDs running in RAID 0. That's my main drive that I use to do all this editing. That's why it goes pretty fast. A 2 terabyte drive and another 512 gigabyte M.2 drive. That's my main OS. Now, if y'all don't know what none of that is, don't worry about it. For the people who are technical, there's your info. Check out AJaytheCEO.com, AJaytheCEO.com, and I have a list of all the equipment and gear that I use at my church, me personally, in my home studio, all the gear that I use to do these live streams. And I have even some of the links of some of the other clients that I've been working with, so you can see the gear that I'm actually recommending to them as well. So you can always check that out. And just to let you know, those are affiliate links, so don't be surprised. We get a little kickback if you ever buy anything from there. It doesn't add on to whatever you're buying, but it gives a kickback to us so we can help bring more content like this by help funding the channel so we can do stuff like this. Alright, so let's go back. Get out of here, get out. Yep. Thought I had all the stuff closed. So let's do this. Let's go to a new desktop instead. And let's move all this to my new desktop. How about that? So it's all clean, so you don't gotta worry about this. So let's go up here to our services, and we're gonna make a new project on the 20th. Now the reason I said all the specs is you need to have a fairly decent computer to run DaVinci Resolve. If your computer can play modern games, then it's good. If you're looking to buy a computer, check out AJstuff.com. I have a link to my video gear, and what I'll do is give me about, once this is over, I'll make another video on a budget-friendly video editing system, because I actually just built this similar computer for another church to help them with their video editing as well. So we're here in DaVinci Resolve, and let's cut over to monitor number 2 so you can see here. This is my media pool, and what I'm going to do is drag the videos that we got from our hyperdeck or your camera or whatever that you're using. And hold on, my picture went away. All right, here I am. So I'm just going to drag my info over here. This is my media drive. Drag that in there. It's going to say, do you want to change the frame rate? Yes, I do. I want it to match what I'm actually recording. So we record at 2997. That's different. I need to check that out. We actually broadcast in 1080. Oh, never mind. We're right. So that's cool. So what I do as well is I have a bunch of templates already set up from a while ago when we started doing this. And like I said, I do all this stuff using Envato. Sign up for them. They're completely free. And the first of every month, they give you free stuff from their website themes, their video templates, their music, their photos, and coding. And there's something else that they give out. But they give out those free files every single month. And a lot of the stuff that I use for my church and transforming, I got from there completely free. They also have great stuff that you can buy, like the graphics that I have on my channel, as well as I do for client work. I normally get it from there. So check them out, envato.net or envato.com. If not, if I say the wrong name, I'll link it in the bottom. All right, so I say all that to say I have my intro outro here that I normally use, which you can see right here if we play it. And wait a minute, my sound is not coming through where it needs to. It's coming through my speakers, so I want it to come through so y'all can hear it. Do the black magic. Hopefully this won't be super loud. I don't know why it does this when I change my sound. I should have set the sound up before, and I might have to come back in here again to do this. And we're right back to my camera not showing. Let it stay on. I might have to close this down and open it back up. Oh, there it goes. So let's see. Sounds coming through, but I need to make sure it's not too loud, so that way you can hear everything. So this whole template, let me mute it right here. This whole template came from Envato. So I literally, I'm a big supporter of the Adobe Cloud stuff. I'm using just After Effects by itself. That's $9 a month. But you can sign up for a free 30-day trial, get all the templates you need, make everything that you need from an intro, outro, your lower thirds, all this other stuff, make it once and use that moving forward. Because again, these are budget-friendly tips because a lot of churches don't have tons and tons of money. So I'm just trying to share with you what you can use to enhance your media ministry. So again, DaVinci Resolve is free. You just need to make sure your computer can run it. So there are also other application that you can use, like Windows Movie Maker. It limits you to only 720p, but again, it's free. Maybe one day I'll do a video with how to just do this same stuff just with Movie Maker. I might think about doing that. But anyway, let's cut back over here to my second screen. So I got my source video. I have my intro, outro. I can do lower thirds in DaVinci Resolve by itself, but I've made some as well, so I'm going to go ahead and use those. So let me bring the choir in because it was the male chorus that sang today. And the preacher was actually Reverend Harris. But I'm going to bring Pastor Sells' name in there as well, just in case. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit now. I'm in the timeline view. And let me change my view so that way you can see everything. I have dual screens, obviously. That's why I keep switching back and forth. But I'm switching over so you can see me doing all the editing in one place. So here's my media pool of everything that I brought over. And this is the main screen that I am going to work in. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on my media, and it's going to load it in the preview window. So I think what happened this Sunday is we didn't start the recording at the very beginning of the service, but that's fine. So I just need to chop off just a little bit. So when I do video editing, I make two cuts. I make a cut of the entire service because we don't do DVDs anymore, but we host our entire service on Vimeo through our on demand because they allow us to do that there. So we put the entire service there, but then we chop off nothing but the sermon, and then we post that on YouTube as well as our website and other things like that. So that's why I do two cuts, but I do all my editing in the full service, and then I just cut out the sermon without having to do double the amount of work. So what I'm going to do is hit Control N, and it's going to say, it's going to make a new timeline. So my timeline I call full underscore and the service date. And here I'm going to click on the tab view so I can see my multiple tabs. I'm going to do another Control N. I'm going to do online, which is what we post on our website, and that date. So we'll come back to this. I'm going to do all my work in full. Alright, so what I'm going to do, and let me actually let me move my camera so it's not in the way. So if I'm negative 11, let's go 11. Alright, so I'm on the other side now, so hopefully you can see the majority of what I've done. So first thing I'm going to do is drag over my intro outro and move it up, which will put it on a different, make a new track timeline. Let's shrink this so we can see this all. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let's change this to, I only want to see a picture from the beginning and the end of our clip. And I'm going to drag this to 1 second so that it fades out the video and then fades out the audio as well for 1 second. Now I'm going to move my cursor right there, and then I'm going to press the letter M. It's going to make a marker. Alright, now let's go back to our preview video, and we want to find exactly where the service starts, or a good place to cut in on. And I have absolutely no audio here. And why is that? Make sure I'm not missing nothing. I'm missing audio here too. So let's check preferences. Oh, duh, AJ, you are looped into your switcher, and I don't have audio out. That's why I couldn't hear it. Hold on a second. I need to turn this on so I can actually hear. Alright, so let me go back here and we're going to find exactly where a good entry point for the service. So right now, I'm not hearing anything. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the sound off. It's just going to come through my speakers, so you'll be hearing it from the mic picking it up. the beauties of trying to capture everything so y'all can hear it. And let me bring up the chat in another window, because I can't see it while I'm on this page. Y'all got a hint of my audio here. Alright, we got that popped up. Alright, let me make sure I can hear it here. Okay, I can turn my sound off again. I don't need to hear an echo. Alright, so and I still can't hear this. That's interesting. Oh, because I'm still here. Default. Let's try one more time here. Let's disable that. Alright, I'm getting sound. So why can't I hear? What's the number one rule when you're having a technical issue? Save, close, and open it back up. So let's go ahead and close this out, because for whatever reason I can't hear. I can't even hear where to start everything at. So give it a second, and we're going to open it back up again. So I think while I'm while this is starting up, just remind you I'm working on a video that should be posted maybe later tonight or tomorrow with some of the gear that I use that is very cost efficient, but it actually saves so much time, because there, again, a lot of this stuff to most people when they look at it is really complicated. And the whole idea from a media ministry standpoint is to put things in place so that you can get more volunteers. Everybody can use more volunteers in the media ministry. But the idea is a lot of people are intimidated because of how much work it takes. And it looks like, I think somebody said when they came to our media booth, it looks like the Starship Enterprise because we have so many monitors, which scares people from trying to do. But the one thing I like to do is try and bring stuff in place so that they feel empowered and they don't feel intimidated. And that was kind of like some of the products I want to share with you that I use personally here as well as in my church. So that should be coming later on tonight once this is done. Well, if anything, early tomorrow morning. So make sure that you subscribe and click the bell notification. That way you get notified when the video comes up. And I need to investigate why DaVinci Resolve is taking this long to load. So anyway, let's go to services. We saved it. Let's bring up our stuff. So we should be in good standing here. So let's hear. AJ, are you serious? You had it on mute. So it was working the whole time. I had it muted. My bad. See? Happens to the best of us. So anyway, let me go back here, back to what we're doing. Double clicking on here. Alright, so I can take this off now because I'm hearing from here. Now, what I need to do is find an intro. So they're doing praise and worship right here. We can skip ahead a little bit. So that's opening. I'm going to find right when Pastor Sales start talking. Alright, so let me do right here. I found my place. I'm going to press the I key, which does your endpoint. And the out point, I already stopped the recording at church, so I know the out point is good for me, so I don't need to do anything else. So what I'm going to do is just click anywhere inside of here and drag, and you'll, because of that M button that we press, the marker, excuse me, it's going to snap to that. So if we play this, see it fades right in. But what I want to do is find where that song ends. Actually, I'm going to let it pick up from right there. So let's fade out the audio so it doesn't jolt everybody like it just did. Alright, so I'm gonna move this forward just a little bit. So right here, and my shortcut keys are not working. Man, I don't know what in the world is going on today with all my stuff. Maybe because I didn't restart my computer last night. Maybe that's it. Alright, so we cut that first part off, and see, we're still having some sound issues right here. So what I'm going to do is, well, you know, this is fine. Because I think we're having some sound issues in our booth, so we're going to have to get in and retweak everything. But from a high level, I'm just going to go through here. See, there's the announcements that I just shared at the beginning that we did. And let's hear how everybody responded to that. Sweet. So we got a little applause, so that's good. So anyway, alright, so that's our regular offering stuff. And I'm literally just looking for where the sermon starts. Alright, so it's right about here. So let's zoom in a little bit. Alright, so that's right when Reverend Harris is walking up. So I'm going to press the B key to bring up the blade. And I'm going to click right there. And this is going to be where our sermon starts, which we're going to use on the other timeline. I'm going to right click on this, change the color to anything. I normally use orange just so it's very easy for me to tell where everything is. So I'm going to come over here. This is the male chorus. So let's drag our lower third over here. And let me mute this here because I know it's loud. As you can see, it's going to bring up the choir name right there. I'm going to do this in another place. Male chorus. Like I said, this was another template that I got from Envato. I used the template and made every single choir, every single dance group, every single minister that I know that we have. So the only issue with this is, which I like to use the DaVinci Resolve version, is if we have a guest minister that I'm not prepared for, I can use DaVinci Resolve's built-in lower thirds to make anybody I want on the fly, compared to having to go to another application to make this. So sooner or later, sometime this year, I'm going to transition to only using DaVinci Resolve for our lower thirds, but I'm not there yet. Alright, so out of all the songs, the choir really didn't sing that much, so I don't have to call them out, because that's offering. Alright, so we're back here to our sermon. Let me take the magnet off so I can scrub through this. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Reverend Harris's lower third in here. And now his is a little bit different. It has a black background so it stands out. Alright, so my thought when I'm doing video editing, let's go here just to verify that he ends. Alright, so that's when he's leaving. So I'm going to trim a little bit of this off because it's not needed. So look at the entirety of the entire sermon. You got to think of this from a social media standpoint and from online. People are going to be watching the sermon. This is about, so that's at 24. Where does he start? So he's going for about 20 minutes. So I want to divide that up right at the beginning. So around 2 minutes in, I want to put his lower third, maybe 5 minutes before the end, I want to put it in again. So that way, if somebody happens to be jumping in and watching, first off, when they first started, they'll know from the description and from the video who's speaking. And then I want to put it again in the middle because you never know, somebody may be walking past while they're watching, and you just want to have another name tag somewhere. All right. Now, he doesn't, Reverend Harris, I know our ministers at our church, he starts loud and just stays there at a volume standpoint, but he also doesn't move around a lot. So I always check to make sure I can clearly see the lower third. But since he doesn't move, I know that the placement that I have is fine everywhere. All right. So that's there. Now let's go all the way to the ending. Hence the intro, outro. I use the same thing for both. So I want to get a good point where he's walking away so that I can transition and fade it out. All right, so right there, I'll press the M key to make another marker, and I'm going to drag my intro, outro there onto track 2. And let's zoom in some more so we can get there. Let's fade that in for 1 second. We're just doing the exact opposite of what we did at the very beginning. And that. And then I'm going to fade the audio out for 1 second, but I'm going to chop all this extra stuff off. So let's roll this all the way back to here. So when we play it, boom, and that's the end of it. So, believe it or not, that's all it took to make the entire service video. So now I have to render it, but what we're going to do first is let's do all this work to make just the service. So let me show you how difficult this is. I'm highlighting everything that's in this orange area. Control C, copy. Let's go to our new timeline. Grab our new intro, outro. Let's zoom in a little bit. We're going to fade this in for fade out 1 second on the video and on the audio. Click on mouse there, press the letter M, and then hit Control V. Now it's going to paste everything that we already did in that same section. All we got to do is fade this in for 1 second. So now we just made the full service, and we just made the entire, and we made the online. All right, so let's go over here to deliver. And honestly, YouTube and Vimeo templates are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one you do. But I'm going to do online first because that's the shortest, because I'm also going to rip this to do our podcast. I actually pulled the audio out. And I could use audio only here, but for whatever reason, the file size is very, very large when I use this from DaVinci Resolve. I'd rather just do everything in one place, but for whatever reason, like I said, it just runs, the file runs a lot bigger, and our website doesn't like the size of the file. So, and that's one other suggestion. Doing podcasts are free to be listed on iTunes and Google Play. I need to come up with a video to show you the guide of how to do that, because that's the if you're not ready for live streaming, that's the easiest thing that you can do. If you're just recording your church services, you can take the audio and put that and make it available on to the millions of people on iTunes and on Google Play. We'll revisit that in the future. So what I'm gonna do is I got my timeline. I'm gonna pick my template. And then I'm going to pick the location. That's going to the RAID drive, like I was telling y'all. The fast drive there. I'm just going to do add. Now I'm going to pick the full timeline. Click it again to carry over the name. And I really don't need the kilobits to be that big. I'm going to shrink that one. And let's edit this one and change the size of that as well. Update job. So now I have my two jobs. You have to highlight, but actually, let's do Control Save just in case so you don't have to do it again. Now I'm gonna highlight both of these and just start render. And now that's gonna go edit, and we'll come back to that here in a few minutes. This is gonna be done in about like 10 minutes, 9 minutes. that's why I like the Ryzen 7 2700. When I used to do this, it used to take about an hour and a half to render this thing, and it's like now it's down to like maybe 30 minutes to do the full service and the smaller file for our website, which is really cool. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna go into our church stuff, and we're gonna start prepping for how we're gonna load everything. Now again, I did this in advance. On our website, we use Squarespace. I am slowly thinking about moving over to WordPress, and I have another video that's coming up for those who need to update their website or don't have a website at all. We'll stand by, make sure you subscribe and put the bell notifications on. That way you can catch the video when we come about how we're going to walk through building an entire church website from ground zero all the way through, and literally be dirt cheap on how you can do it. I'm talking about maybe less than $10 a month to maintain your church website. So stand by for that one. So on here, on our website, we have our live stream. That's some stuff I did with my Mavic 2 Pro. Added some uniqueness there. And I don't know why the quality is that low, but man, this is what I did with my first drone ever. Did that one. But anyway, I put our live stream here, which I need to point to our new one here. And then I need to update this as well too. But what we do for our service, let me go back to our home page, is we host all of our sermons and dance videos here on the front page. It always shows just the most recent top two on both. So what I have done is I already have this set up. So once the video is done, I just need to upload it. But we also have our podcast. And let me go to that. So in here, this is what I made while I was in service already. So I already got the information. Why is the text a different color? I already put this in place, so I literally only have to upload the file when it's ready. I don't know why the font is looking kind of strange. Let me see what this one is. Oh, heading 3. I did heading 1 and 2. No wonder it's so large. Heading 3. All right, so pretty much what this, where's the syndication on here so you can see? So I don't remember what this is. Hold on, let me go back here. And Squarespace has this built in, but there are a bunch of modules that you can get up. I can't see it because I'm under an editor. I'm normally the administrator, but I'm not logged into that. Anybody else in our media ministry has a lockdown account so that somebody can't accidentally delete something. So I'm gonna have to show you that at a later time. But inside of here, I just come in and I add the file that's being done once I rip the audio out of here. So let me see. So this is actually going to be done in about 3 minutes. So I'll be able to show this to you once it's done. So the software that I use to do that is SoundForge. And let me move this over to this other screen and we'll get back to that. So we're going to upload this. Once we hit publish, it's going to go to the Google Play Store and to iTunes. And I do have iTunes on here now, so I can show you what it looks like, because I'm really just killing time until the video stuff is done. And here's our podcast. So this was... Oh, I was going to say, I know I've done more stuff since that. So these are all the sermons that have been loaded, and we've had over 100, well over 100, I would think. We've been doing this since 2014, excuse me. So anybody can access this. This is my connection here. And then if I go into the Google Play Store, go to my music. What I want to do is go to podcast. There's our podcast there. So it has all the sermons that we've had, and like I said, we do it every single week. And it's been here for a while. And like I said, that's one of those free tools that any church can use. You just need to know how to use it, and it's open to everybody. It doesn't cost anything. The only thing it costs you is time. So let's see how close we are to this being done. All right, so we got about a minute and a few seconds till this is done, and then we can do our uploads. All right, so what else? Let's see, do we have anything going on in the chat at all? Nothing so far. Let's see. All right, nothing so far. So let's see. What else can we do? Because I think the outside of, the other main thing is this whole workflow is kind of the same thing I do from a standpoint for our video announcements. The good thing is it's a shorter video, because it's only about 3 minutes and 30 seconds if you include all the intro stuff that we do, the countdowns. But it's more detailed just because of the graphics that go involved, as well as our talent. Sometimes we have to heavily edit it to get out any imperfections, or if they stumbled on certain words or something like that. So that's another workflow that I've did in the past video. But I mean, it's kind of cool, because especially since I've been doing the videos here at our church for like maybe about 3 years. So we're totaling around like 500 to 700 videos that I've done, which is good practice because I've been doing it for so long. So it makes the video editing, even though it's a little bit more taxing and time consuming when it comes to video editing, it makes it goes really easy when you're doing video announcements, because it's like, just like the edits I did, it's just like mini sermons, but they're like 15 to 20 seconds. All right, so let's go in here. All right, so this is done. So let's cut over here to our SoundForge, and what I'm going to do is open up the sermon that was just done, which is this one. And then let me bring up our spreadsheet where we document all of our sermons, all of our information, which if you don't have this, you really should. It's a good way of documenting who preached, whatever, if you ever have to come back. Because it's been a lot of times the fact that, sadly, we've had, obviously people die. And we had one of our ministers that had passed a few years ago, and we were able to research the Sunday that he had, go back to the archive of videos we had, and literally have him, do a prayer, even though he had passed. I remember somebody did that to my dad. He had passed. My dad passed in 2003, and he was a pastor. And it's like every year, he was a minister of music at first. They would bring up one of his prayers, and they would have him pray it. I mean, the first time it got me, because it hear my dad's voice, and I haven't heard it in over, like I said, it's been 14 years, 15 years, no, 16 years since my dad's been gone. But it's one of those things that is cool. And then, I've done it a couple of times where we've had other people who've sang and they've passed, and we've actually used a video of them singing and actually put that in there as a memorial and stuff like that. So that's really cool. But anyway, I digress. It's a good way just to document what you have and who preached, the verses and everything like that. So what I'm just going to do is come in here, take the title, and let's go back into the program. All we're really doing is just extracting the audio. So I'm going to do save as. It's already putting it as an MP3, but I'm going to go to custom, ID3 settings. I'm going to put the title here, and I'm going to do the preacher and the date, and it does it backwards, so it's day then month. And I'm just gonna save that, and now it's saving just the audio portion by itself. That only takes a few seconds, and you can see we're already about almost 20% in on rendering the full video as well too. So like I said, it doesn't take that long. It's saying it's going to be done in like 20 minutes. So the whole video editing portion outside of me talking to y'all really only takes about 10 minutes. Then rendering everything takes about 30, and then uploading it takes another 5. So you're looking at right at 45 minutes to 50 minutes to do the whole thing. So this is done. So we can close this. Let's go back to our podcast here, and now all I'm gonna do is go to the drive over here and upload the sermon. Just make sure that's the right date. Now I just need this to upload. I click apply, then save and publish, and now this in a few minutes after that is going to be now listed as a new episode on iTunes and on Google Play. Alright, so while that's doing, let me go ahead and revisit something that I've had a couple of people talk to me about, and I've actually seen this. So let me go ahead and bring up OBS on this computer, because I got OBS on the computer over there that's live streaming this. Now, one thing, and I highly recommend if you're new to live streaming to check out my pro live streaming tips, because it really just helps a lot on your professionalism when you're doing your live stream. Like most of the time when you start, you literally just have, let me turn this off. And actually you can't see a video because I don't have a capture card on this computer. I should have hooked up something. But anyway, what you need to do is have scenes. Well, let me not need to do. This is what I suggest is when you're live streaming, we're talking about your digital footprint. This is what churches, the first time people are going to see your church, because they'll see it digitally way faster than they will by them coming into the church. So we just want to make sure we put our best foot forward when you're live streaming or you're presenting your church, because that's what people are going to see. So when you come to live streaming, my first suggestion, and this is in a high-level overview of that pro live streaming tips, is you want to welcome everybody when they come to your live stream. You want to set up a new scene with just an image and maybe background music of no copyright music, or maybe if your musicians are playing something like that you don't want to get in trouble for, because if you don't own it, you can't use it. But pretty much just an image just saying welcome, the name of the church, when your stuff is starting, and maybe have some background music, or maybe you can run your announcements or something like that. Then you transition into your service, and then, that's cool. And then for offering, if your offering is like ours, is plain, nothing else is going on, so we just put up a static image of the link to where people can go to pay tithes and offering online. And it's almost like you have to realize that you have your production while you're in the sanctuary, but you're literally making a new production when you're live streaming. They can be in sync, but then sometimes they don't have to be in sync, because sometimes everybody doesn't need to see what's going on in your service. Like right now, during offering, do we really need to see people walking up and down the aisles and nothing else is going on? No. So why not show a graphic, show your announcement, show something so it's still engaging to the people who are watching online. It's a way of showing that even though you're not physically here, we're still considerate of you and we're thankful for you watching. So I want to show something to help you out or cater to you as well. You don't want it to be like for example, I do have a Be Right Back stream starting soon. This is mainly for if we have copy protected material that's being played. Say we have dance ministry or mime ministry is playing an actual track that we don't own. We'll put this up, and you can put background music if you want to, but this is the only time we would disengage them from what's actually going on, because there's a reason why we have to do that. It's just one of those things. It's very small. It doesn't take that long to do, but it just makes your stuff stand out so much better than just somebody who can just put a camera up. Anybody can do that, which is nothing wrong with doing that because you want to help get the message out. But at the same time, you can deliver it and be a little bit more professional than amateur. It doesn't take a lot, but these things help set yourself apart. Now, I think enough time has gone by. Yep, everything is uploaded. I'm going to click apply, and I'm going to do save and publish. So now this episode is live. The only thing else I need to do, which I'm not going to have y'all sit and watch, is literally me upload that live, the sermons to our platforms of choice on YouTube, on our website, and then once the other video is done, I'll upload that to our on-demand. And that's mainly it, especially if I don't see any major questions out there. Let me transition over here. If I can get the right buttons. All right, so that was mainly it, guys. I'm working on actually bringing some of the youth in on another, not next week, but I think maybe the week after that. I'm supposed to be visiting another media ministry as well coming soon. So getting the chance to sit down and talk with other people, because the whole idea is we all move forward when we can share information with each other. And I hope that's what I'm trying to bring with these post-church productions, showing you that if you need some help, I'm kind of like your online trainer that can help you get some stuff done, whether you only got one person in your media ministry or you got 20, because we can always learn something. And hey, make sure you leave some comments in these videos, because I read every single comment. I reply to every single comment. And like I said, I'm willing and want to learn from y'all just as much as I want to share what I've learned with y'all. So if you like this type of content, guys, I really appreciate a like. Consider subscribing to this channel for more tips, tricks, strategies, and training for your media ministry, as well as reviews, because we got some more tech stuff that we're going to be reviewing pretty soon. And also, make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you get notified when we come out with new stuff. This is AJ the CEO. Thank you for stopping by and watching. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next episode and on the next video. Later.